This is Cam Scatterboot. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
A gain of 10 yards. And the Giants first down. First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Right back to Scatterboot on first down. This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
A gain of a yard. Brings up second and 9.
Dart going to throw you on second down. And that ball incomplete.
He just stays on his primary read just a little bit too long. I think if he gets that ball to his check down a little bit quicker, not only is the ball completed, but I think there's some room to run. So, again, certain quarterbacks are better than others. The ability to process and eliminate targets quickly to move on to the next, that's a skill that really just comes from experience.
And he will easily pick up the first down. They've got first and goal coming up.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets to the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the first down anyway.
Nothing there. He is fortunate just to get back to the line. Now it's second and goal.
Leads to second and goal at the Bucs 8-yard line.
They'll go with him again. And he's in! Tyrone Tracy. Touchdown, New York.
Touchdown, Giants.
Now it's Graham Gano for the PHC. He's got it. And the Giants will tie things up at 7-7 here in the opening quarter. We're on top, 7 apiece. And the kick's away. On the return is Sean Tucker. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive.
At their own 26-yard line.
They run with the argument. It's Bucky Irving. Has an opening. Past the 40. And he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50-yard line. That pickup good for 29 yards.
I think this is something that we can expect to see here, especially early, Mike, as this team gets into a rhythm. They want to lean on this run game. They feel like they have a lot of advantages over this defense, and you can see from the first play here why they feel that way.
Mayfield to throw it here on first down. That's thrown right side, but incomplete. Emeka Ibuka, the intended receiver. And that will lead to a second down. Mayfield. Now, screen set up for Irving. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short.
A 9-yard gain on the play. And it's
Third and a yard. That's Ibuka in motion.
180. What's up?
Third down, it's Irving. And he's got nowhere to go. That defensive front controls one scrimmage. It'll bring up fourth down.
That's a heck of a stop by this defense early in this game, Mike, and it sets up a decision for the offense. You might be a little too far away to attempt a realistic field goal, but you might be a little too close to get anything out of the punt unit. I think I'm keeping the offense on. I'm trying to extend this drive, and I'm being aggressive here early.
On fourth down, Mayfield. And that is not going to work. It is incomplete. They go for it on fourth and wind up turning it over on down.
Go! 60 by 6, 60 by
They'll start this on the ground with Scatterboard. Running room hard to come by as he'll get ahead for a yard. Hassan Reddick there to make the play.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
So, from the 37, here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go now. 1918.
A touchdown apiece here in the first quarter of play. Pair of 7s on the scoreboard. More from MetLife Stadium after this. Giants football here to begin the second quarter. They're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go.
Here we go, set. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Let's go.
Operating from the gun, it's Dart. Taking the deep shot here with Robinson. That's going to be incomplete. Good work. The defender bodied his man up. Wouldn't allow the catch. It'll force 3rd down. Wandale Robinson, the one he was looking for that time. And it'll be 3rd down. Gun, here comes Dart. This one is caught by Robinson. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the 1st down marker. No movement from the punt team. They'll line up to go for it on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it, and it's Dart. This one incomplete. The defense up to the challenge there. They force the incompletion, and they'll take the ball over on down. Baker going to give it to Irvin. They converge on him quickly. They'll only get a couple. Joaquin Nunez-Ortiz there to make the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. A throw there on 2nd down, going to be incomplete.
This offense has to do a better job of generating chunk plays once he gets outside the pocket and they transition into scramble drill. Instead, nobody really uncovers downfield, forces him to make a difficult throw, and falls incomplete.
Hey, alert 33.
From the gun, it's Mayfield. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete. Trying to hook up with Kane up that time around. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Kings, 180.
It's Otten in motion. They'll go. Mayfield. That's going to be caught. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 25-yard line. The risk pays off to the tune of 16 yards. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Again, this is Irvin. It'll be a short pickup. Down to the 22. Javon Holland up to make the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Point it right.
Out of the pistol, it's Mayfield. Forced out wide. He's going to keep it himself. And he will not be quite able to stretch the ball out. They're going to mark him down after that huge run all the way to the 1. Irving. And he's not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose yardage. They push him backwards.
I give that defense all the credit in the world there, Mike. And offensively, you find yourself 1st and goal from the 1. You have to find a way to get that last yard and put the ball in the end zone. There's no excuses to miss a touchdown.
Good blocking, and he's in. Baker Mayfield. Touchdown, Tampa. The defense comes up with the coverage, but they cannot keep up with the speed as the quarterback scrambles to the end zone for the touchdown.
And down here in the red zone, Mike, is where I think a quarterback's legs can be the most dangerous. The defenders are trying to match backs, match tight ends and receivers, but often it's the quarterback that has no one assigned to him. And in this case, he's able to capitalize and run it in himself.
Olszewski now to return. Get across the 20, mark them at the 22-yard line.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The drive will begin with a run by Scatterboot. And they managed to pick up about 4. Elijah Cansey in on the stop.
A gain of 4. It's now second and 6.
To the air on second down. Dart. And he'll let it go deep for Johnson. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Regular. Stop.
On the handoff, it's Irvin. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. If he gets a yard out of that one, it's second down.
33. Rail.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8.
Run. Rail.
To throw is Mayfield. Moving left. Now he'll run.
That's just great awareness there, Mike. He's looking downfield. He doesn't see anything, but he is locked in to get that first down. He tucks it, becomes a runner, gets past the mark.
First and 10.
Down, Buccaneers.
They send Godwin in motion. On first and 10, here's Baker. Moving outside the pocket. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. And he is out of bounds down at the 21.
That's another Buccaneers first down. First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
On first down is Mayfield. Forced out wide. He's going to tuck it and go. And that's a veteran quarterback doing what veterans do. Don't take the extra hit. Got the first down, get down. The drive continues.
The defense is going to have to come up with a plan for this quarterback using his legs, Mike, or it's going to be a long day. They knew coming in he was a threat, but I'm not sure they thought he would be this effective this early.
He'll take off and he will get into the end zone. Baker Mayfield. Touchdown Buccaneers. That is second touchdown of the afternoon. On comes McLaughlin to add the PAT. It's up and good. And the Buccaneers will take a 21-7 lead. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. Olszewski now to return. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over.
Giants take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
19 Tiger. Alert.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to get this to the 37-yard line. Now a timeout signal formed, and they'll get it with 10 seconds until the break. Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for first and 10.
At the 37-yard line.
Looking to throw. It's Dart. A whole lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete.
So one of the elements of a good screen game is the quarterback having the timing in his head to know, I want to hold the ball long enough to get the rush to commit to me, to set up the blocking and set up the back behind them. But I also can't hold it on forever because then I don't have an opportunity.
It hangs up a bit too much. It's intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play here in this first half. We have hit halftime. Going to take a quick break, come back, second half of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Boy, some bulk in the formation on that right side here for 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Dart. Oh, he's going to be followed up and taken down. They got him. Yaya Diaby in there to drop him, and that's going to be a loss of 9 to open this drive.
Let's go now. Rock roll 80. Let's go.
On second down, Dart taking the deep shot here with Robinson. The offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But, boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part.
And he's into the end zone yet again. Baker Mayfield. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. And make that 3 rushing touchdowns. You think quarterback gets a 3-touchdown day, it's pretty good. 3 on the ground? That, Greg, is excellent.
It's just so hard, Mike, for a defense to account for a quarterback that can do this amount of damage with his legs. And there's a fine line, but I'll tell you what, when they unleash him as a runner, he's about as good as it gets.
Olszewski now to return. And he'll be set up well as he is past the 35-yard line.
The Giants take over.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10.
37-yard line.
Ready? No! Take off!
On the give, Scatterboot. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line. Love to start any drive like that. 18 on the first play. And a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
To throw, it's Dart on 1st and 10. That's caught. It's Tyrone Tracy. And he will be out of bounds right around the 35. It'll be a pickup of 10. That's good for a Giants first down.
Another Giants first down.
Go!
1st and 10 at the 35-yard
79.
line.
Again, out of the gun, and it's Scatterboot. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Shotgun. It's Dart. That's to Robinson. He's got it. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Throwing is Dart.
17-yard line.
And he's in. Darius Slayton. Touchdown, Giants.
We were talking during the break, Mike. We felt that this was kind of a do-or-die drive. They felt like they needed to come away with the touchdown here, and now they're showing a little life.
Yeah, a little bit of belief, don't you think? Everyone on that field knows they've been a part of a comeback before. It's a pretty big mountain, but a good way to get started here to begin this half.
To kick off for New York.
So out is Gano after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. To return is Tucker. And he is stopped. That's 25. The drive will begin there. He'll run with Irving, and he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. So, from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. On the RPO, they'll get this to Ibuka. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield. They get 22 yards there. Good for a Buccaneers first down.
A gain of 22 yards. First down.
Here's Irving. And look out there. Upended at the line of scrimmage.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
So, both teams trade touchdowns in that frame as we get through the end of the third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. It is 3rd and 10. They send Godwin in motion. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Mayfield. He'll get rid of it and complete it. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down. Throwing is Baker. That's incomplete. Carries all on 4th down. Does not work out. And it results in a turnover on down.
Set. Let's go.
On 1st down, Dart. He'll let it fly. Deep ball for Slayton. And that ball out of reach. Toward the sideline. It'll be an incomplete. Darius Slayton was the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
60 Eagles.
Dart. Again, working deep downfield. That ball incomplete. Got the hands in there to break it up. Could have been a big gainer. Instead, it sets up a 3rd down. Throwing. Dart. He's got his man complete to Johnson. And he's out of bounds down inside the 35. The rookie from Ole Miss put that one on target for the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
18, Pioneer. Mustang 19. 19, Lion. 18, Rattler.
To the air again goes Dart. Taking the deep shot here with Robinson. And he won't quite make it to the pylon, but he's out of bounds right around the 1-yard line.
31 yards.
A big play and a much-needed one as well. 31 yards.
19.
Scatterboo will score. Touchdown. G-Man. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off?
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
70 Timberwolf. Trap 60, trap 60. 19 tight, 19 tight. Ready?
Operating from the gun, it's Dart. That's pulled in, and they're able to tack on the two-point conversion.
I know it sounds like I'm being biased, Mike, but I'm really not. Down here this close to the end zone, especially on two-point tries, the size, the length, the athleticism, and matchups these tight ends can create, man, they are a tough handle, and it leads to 2 points.
Johnson now to return. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. Shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
Defensive coaches preach every day, Mike, swarm to the ball. Get as many hats to the ball carrier as possible. And this is a great reason why. The ball carrier is able to make the first guy miss, but it was the pursuit from the rest of the defense that's able to get him down and keep him to no gain.
Rush comes. They're setting up the screen. Nice gain here. He's going to be marked down at the 35-yard line. Good-looking screenplay there. A gain of 11 and a first down.
A gain of 11 on the play. And the Buccaneer first down.
Here's carry number 1 for Rashad White. And he works past the 40, taken down after a gain of 7. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll drop to throw. They'll try to hit him with a screen. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down. And quickly, the clock stops again. Defense taking the timeout. $1:54 to go.
180.
Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Contact, but the flags. Going to be 4th down.
But here we find the best laid plans sometimes do go astray. Every offense, Mike, what do they tell us? We want to stay ahead of the chains. We want to stay on schedule. This was a 3rd and very reasonable. Incomplete on that 3rd down try. Now brings up 4th and short.
180.
On 4th down, Mayfield. Oh, do you believe it? It's intercepted. Picked up by Bobby Okereke. And the Giants have excellent field position as they take over right at midfield. Here's 1st and 10.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles, go!
Out of the gun, here comes Dart. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very stout there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
Great job there defensively, separating the man from the ball. And this is the moments of the game where you need your best players to step up. And this guy's showing what he's capable of doing in the game's critical moment.
Dart going to throw here on 2nd down. And that could be the dagger. It's intercepted. Picked up by Zion McCollum. From the 35, it's 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by White. Not much there, maybe a yard.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
2nd down and 8. From the gun, it's Mayfield. A throw on the move is caught. And And he's down inside the 40-yard line. Now a timeout, Giants. That is their second. The stoppage comes with just over a minute to play in this one.
And that first down should all but do it, Mike. With only one remaining timeout, the defense just can't stop the clock enough. Got to imagine it's victory formation. We're a couple kneels away from this game being over.
And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Here's 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
Here's Mayfield. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force 3rd down.
And 6 yards to go.
Regular. 1-8, up.
Now Mayfield. This one just too far for the receiver. Out in front of him. That one falls incomplete. He was trying to fit that one into Mike Evans. And it's going to be 4th down.
Pistol. Good. 180. Point it right. Real.
They send Godwin in motion.
What's that?
They'll go. Mayfield. He'll try to run for it. The ball comes out. And the defense is going to come up with it. Maybe the break they need here in the 4th quarter.
Oh, my goodness, Mike. What a mistake. Late in the game, you're protecting the lead. That can't happen. You know they're going to be raking at the ball. You know they are desperate to create a turnover. Just somehow he doesn't put the ball away, and this game just got a lot more interesting.
Malik Neighbors, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 2nd down. Now Dart. He's going to look downfield once again. And that could be the dagger. It's intercepted. And the Buccaneers have just about sewn up this football game. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Hey, alert!
Off the play fake. It's Mayfield. Pass throws deep for Godwin. And the Giants are going to come up with a late turnover, but it will only matter to the stat keeper. This ball game is over. So a win here for the visiting Bucs. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, a few more defensive